There's been a lot of chat on social media over the weekend about the potential difficulties being faced by investment banks, especially on this side of the pond, because of the strong dollar. It's pushing down the euro and also, as we know here in the UK, sterling. And those concerned in the bond markets having a very difficult time of it. And Credit Suisse senior executives have said that they spent the weekend reassuring large clients, counterparties and investors about the liquidity and the capital position in response to these questions that have been raised. Let's take a look at a long-term chart for Credit Suisse, because I think this really says it all for the Swiss bank. It's had a difficult few years. In fact, this goes back to 2007. We've seen three chief executives in that period of time, and most recently reorganizations, question marks about its exposure to the US markets. We've seen it continue to tumble. And in today's session, we've seen it hit lows not seen in decades at 378.4. We're off the lows in today's session, but executives have been talking a little bit about what's been going with credit default swaps, which offer protection against a company defaulting. These have been rising sharply right the way through at the back of last week, indicating investor worries over the financial health of Credit Suisse. But Credit Suisse continues to maintain it is in a relatively good position, and it's trying to offset some of the language and some of the commentary that's going on around the banking sector as a result of its concerns. Deutsche Bank is another one. We know a lot about what's happening with Deutsche Bank. It has been lower than where it was going back to October 2020, Deutsche Bank, but it's another one of these banks where we've seen relatively hefty declines going through this line of support, but we're off the lows there as well. But it's a question of really working out just where this story goes. These banks trying to put themselves into a position where they can maintain their liquidity and continue to offer business. But at the moment, at least, there's a lot of pressure building for investment banks on this side of the Atlantic.